Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me Nono and I'm back with another video. Now I'm a little bit nervous for today. That's because we're going to be trying some winter wonderland nails for the first time, and I'm going to be drawing some inspiration from Tino. He does some of the most jaw-dropping, most beautiful winter nail sets I've ever seen, and I'm going to be drawing some inspiration from each one of these sets to create something that is pretty much my own style. Now, I'm also going to be creating a snow globe nail, pretty much an aqua nail, in my middle finger, and I also just went in with a layer of rubber-based gel, and then on top of that I did my peel-off base coat, which is just some cuticle oil and top coat. That way I can just pop the nails off when I'm done. Now, without wasting any time, let's get into today's nail set. So I've decided that I'm going to use the full cover tip technique, and that's when you use the full cover tip as your reservoir, pretty much like your little tank. And I'm going to be applying this on top of my basically normal nail. I went ahead and just attached it onto my middle finger, and then I'm going in and just trimming the length because they were a little too long for my liking. After I'm done with that, I'm going in with this clear polygel by Model 1, some alcohol and a gel brush. Now let me tell you guys about this polygel. It is the most difficult polygel to work with. It sticks to the brush, it floods up my cuticle, but I have never seen a polygel this clear. As much as it's so difficult to work with it, I put up with it because I know the result is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm going in, tapping it into place, making sure that I'm happy with how it's sitting. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and pop it in my lamp for 60 seconds. Can you guys see how clear that nail is? Wait, let me show you. Look at how crystal clear this polygel is. Probably one of the best clear polygels I've ever worked with. I really love it. Now I'm grabbing my lint-free wipe with a little bit of alcohol, and I'm just cleansing my nail, just removing that inhibition layer. And once I'm done with that, I'm grabbing my hand file and I'm going right in and just shaping the polygel up a little bit, just getting rid of all the little lumps and bumps. Went ahead and just filed, and once I was done with that, I gave the nail a quick buff, and then I went ahead and washed my hands and just got rid of all the dust. Now I'm grabbing my nail primer and I'm applying a thin layer onto the nail. This is just to help me with good adhesion. I'm going to be going in with a lot of nail art, and I just wanted to make sure that the gel is sitting on a nice prepped surface. Now for the actual nail art, I wanted to create a snowman that is surrounded by some snow and some actual like snow that's falling from the sky. So I'm going in and creating basically the base with just some white gel polish. I also just created some tiny dots of snow all over the nail, and then I went ahead and cured in my lamp for 60 seconds. Now I'm going in with my blue jelly gel. I'm using this gel to create some foreground and background effect, and sort of like have some snow that looks like it's further away and some snow that is a little bit forward. I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. I went ahead and drew another layer of snow, and then I added more little particles of snow as well. Now for the actual snowman, I didn't want to make him look too complicated or intricate. I wanted him to look very simple, very cute. And as you guys can see, I'm starting with the body. I only did 2 parts to him, and once I was done with that, I went in and did all the little details, like the little eyes, the carrot nose, the top hat, the scarf around his neck, and the buttons down his chest, and also of course his little stick arms. And this is the final look of the snowman. I think he's so adorable. Look at him. absolutely adorable. Now to attach the tank, I'm gonna go in with my Beauty Art Box top coat because it's very thick, and in my mind, you guys, I didn't try this out before, by the way. I figured this top coat would work very well because it's more on the thicker side, and I went ahead and applied it directly on top of the snowman. And I also just made sure that I'm applying it a little bit thick. And once I was done with that, I went ahead and grabbed my full cover tip, made sure that I was happy with where it's placed, and then I pressed it on, and then I put my hand in my LED lamp, and you guys, it worked. I didn't have any leakages, I didn't have spillage, I didn't have to go around and make sure that it is sealed. It just worked so well. I was so happy. Now here's where I fumbled. I realized that I didn't have anything to put inside the snow globe. As you guys can see, at this point I'm literally putting in like tiny pearls, which didn't work, by the way, and I also just put in some glitter. But the biggest fumble, you guys, is that I didn't have baby oil. I only had olive oil and tissue oil in my house, so I went ahead and just grabbed the tissue oil. Once I was done stuffing all the tiny little glitters or all the things that I thought would work, I poured in the tissue oil, and now I'm just sealing it with some solid glue gel. And you guys, nothing moved. Everything just sat there. I tried so much flicking the nail up and down, it wasn't moving, and this is where I knew I made a mistake. So I went ahead, grabbed my keys, grabbed my husband, had to drive all the way to the store so I can purchase some baby oil, and I found it, and immediately I could tell this was going to work better because this was much thinner. I came home, ripped off the old nail, started the whole process again, ruined my snowman in the process, but I fixed him, and this is how the nail is looking now. I did at the top, just to hide the way how thick it was, I added some extra snows. I think they're called icicles, I'm not sure, but the only thing that I found was working were some tiny rhinestones, and those move. Now it might not look like there's a lot of movement, but there is movement, and everything moves kind of slowly. That's because I didn't want to have an air bubble in there. I'm also happy with the thickness. I went ahead and just added this image so you guys can see that it actually moves, and I'm so happy. I watched a lot of tutorials on aqua nails, and I think she would be proud of me. Now I went off camera and attached my full cover tips. Now I can get to the easy part, which is the rest of the nail art, and for this I'm starting with the pinky, and I'm going in with the whitest gel polish that I have, and I went in with 2 coats of this gel. Now I'm going in with the sweater design on the pinky. This was a little bit difficult because the surface of the nail was white and the gel was also white, so it just made it a little bit tricky, but I was able to do it. I just made sure that my liner brush is nice and short, especially for these like shorter lines, and then when I was doing like the bigger nails, I went in for a more longer liner brush. So I went in with just some clear acrylic powder, and then in there I put some unicorn like chrome dust just to give it a little bit of sparkle, and I went ahead and just sprinkled that directly on top of the wet design, and it came out so cute, and it kind of sparkled a little bit because of that little unicorn chrome powder. Now for my ring finger and my index finger, I wanted to do sort of like a half design, like half the white sweater design and the other half being the snow globe kind of style. So I went ahead and applied 2 coats of each, making sure that I've made the line as straight as possible, and then I cured in my lamp for 60 seconds. Now I'm going in with the sweater nail art on the white part. As you guys can see, I switched up and used the longer liner brush because this one was a little bit bigger than the pinky, and the longer one worked really well. Did exactly the same, and then I went ahead and just sprinkled on that acrylic powder mixture, and then I went ahead and cured in my lamp for 60 seconds. Now for the blue part of the nail, I wanted to create sort of like half a snowflake. I went in with my dotting tool just to create more like detail, and then I also just created those tiny little spikes that a snowflake has. And then I also just went around the nail and added like little snow particles, so little dots, and I also did some tiny 4-point stars as well. Once it was done, I also sprinkled the acrylic mixture on this design as well. So I started doing the set around 10 a.m. and by the time I was finished, it was around 8 p.m. at night. It took me the whole day to do the set. By the time I got to the thumb, I was so exhausted, you guys. I just wanted to just rest. So unfortunately, I didn't film the thumb, but I will show you guys the final results. And actually the thumb ended up being one of my favorite. I think that it looked really pretty. And then now that I'm done with the set, finally after hours, I'm going in with my cuticle oil, just moisturizing my cuticles. And yeah, I'm really happy for my first attempt ever at Winter Wonderland nails. I'm really happy. Another interesting fact is we are currently in summer on my part of the world. If you didn't know, I'm in South Africa. It's scorching hot outside and I was busy doing Winter Wonderland nails, which I thoroughly enjoyed, by the way. Please let me know what you guys think for my first attempt at an aqua nail and also the whole design. I really enjoyed it. This is how they look on a more lower light. Again, I tried to capture as much movement as I could, and I was pretty chuffed with all I managed to get. The most important thing is that you can see the snowman. I was very happy. It would mean a lot to me if you would leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this set. I mean, it's my first attempt, so that means it's just gonna get better from here, and I'm definitely more excited to do more aqua nails. At least now I kind of have an idea of how they work. Well, that's it for me. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. I'm gonna see you guys soon in the next video. Bye guys.